Hi, it's Ibby from SmashUrology, and I'm just introducing the new InterviewSuite. So once you're logged into SmashUrology here, when we select Enter the Suite, I'm going to do a demonstration of one of the scenarios. So let's choose a scenario, perhaps raised PSA. Initially, it tells you how many credits it's going to cost, and when we press continue, I'm just going to confirm that A, I've got a stable internet connection, I'm in a quiet environment, there's no background noise, and preferably I would be using headphones, but that's okay. And we'll start the microphone test just to confirm that the computer can hear me. Once that's detected the audio, we press confirm and start session. And I'll demonstrate. Sometimes if it doesn't work, we'll end the session and we say start another session and try it again. We start the microphone test, confirm and start session, make sure the volume is turned up.
A 74-year-old gentleman is referred by his GP with bothersome lower urinary tract symptoms, LUTS. The GP identified a nodule on rectal examination and found his PSA to be elevated at 8.6 and 9.2 ml on 2 separate occasions. You are the ST3 registrar assessing him in the dedicated raised PSA clinic. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, I'm ready to proceed.
What are your initial steps in assessing this patient?
So firstly, I'd like to clarify why the PSA was checked and raised, and if there was any clear reason for that, such as urinary retention or infection. I'd move on to ask about his lower urinary tract symptoms, any red flag features. I'd like to know about his family history. I would move on to re-examine the patient's prostate myself before arranging further investigations.
Are you certain that is the complete approach? Please state your initial steps in assessing this patient clearly.
Of course, I would also assess the patient's comorbidities. I'd like to know his general fitness, if he would be anybody who's suitable for radical treatment if we were to find a diagnosis of prostate cancer, if he's had any previous surgery before, what medications he takes, particularly if he takes finasteride, for example, and take it from there.
How would you counsel a patient on the causes of a raised PSA?
I would explain that the concern is prostate cancer, however there can be other reasons that PSA can be raised, and we alter this according to the patient's age as well, and sometimes it's because the patient has a larger prostate.
Can you elaborate on the specific...
Please move on.
What is the current gold standard diagnostic pathway for suspected prostate cancer?
So it should be a patient has an MRI scan of the prostate before biopsy.
Are you certain that is the complete pathway? Please provide more details regarding the MRI and subsequent steps.
Well, according to the MRI scan, they may or may not undergo a biopsy depending on the risk stratification and the PIRAD score as well as density, and they need to be deemed fit for intervention as well.
What is the PIRAD score?
I'm not sure, move on.
How would you consent a patient for transperineal prostate biopsies?
So essentially I would complete the station here, continue ongoing. It would time out at around 10 minutes or so, but just to demonstrate, if the station were to end, I would press this red button just at the bottom here, and when we select that button, it will give us some feedback. If I click generate AI feedback, what you'll find is, hopefully once it loads, 3 examples of things I've done well, 3 areas for improvement, and an overall impression. Hopefully you noticed that the avatar had to nudge me for a few things that I was not providing complete answers for. And this is just one example of hopefully what's going to really aid everybody's tool in revising for the ST3 interviews. Let us know what you think of this. Please try it out. We're open to feedback all the time, and if you have any issues as well, get in touch. Thanks for your time. It's lovely.